It's been a whole 18 years since we've had a proper new Matchbox game, with the last one being Matchbox Missions, Air, Land and Sea Rescue Emergency Response. Quite the mouthful. Back in 2006 for the Game Boy Advance. But the wait for a new title is now finally over, as just a week or so ago, Matchbox Driving Adventure has dropped on basically every platform that it could possibly ever be on. Being released by Outright Games on September 20th of 2024, Driving Adventures is a game in which you use iconic Matchbox vehicles in races, chases, and more. But if you know anything about Matchbox, it would be that it has a big brother, that being the die-cast giant Hot Wheels. As both die-cast toy brands are owned by Big Boy Mattel, and it just so happens that Hot Wheels has its own small-time racing game, known as Hot Wheels Unleashed by Milestone SRL, and its sequel Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, respectively. And what would be better to have a friendly little comparison between the two games to see which one holds up better. Also, if you know anything about Outright Games Limited, you know that this will be a slightly one-sided battle, but all the more reason to stick around. Matchbox Driving Adventures has a fairly broad range of things to do, from chases to delivering mail, racing, and putting out fires, so obviously you would want a decent selection of vehicles.
With over 10 customizable vehicles to choose from.
So there's actually only 12 vehicles that you can use in the entire game, which is more than in any previous Matchbox games, but it's not like that was a very high bar to start with. All the vehicles have one main paint scheme of which you can change just the base color of. No thought was put into interiors as they all have blacked out windows, and all the vehicles are unlicensed. Snarky comment about Grumman LLV. Also, a majority of the Matchbox cars aren't even recent. I have nostalgia for some of these vehicles in the game, and I can tell you, that wasn't the intention. Unlike some of what's in Unleashed, but we'll get back to that. Oh, and one last thing, Driving Adventures has a chase mode, but it doesn't have any police vehicles of any sort. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Hot Wheels Unleashed, on the other hand, is a racing game that comes with 70 plus cars in the base game alone, and nearly 90 additional cars in the DLCs, bringing a total of over 160 cars, and that's just the first game. Unleashed 2 Turbocharged comes stock with just over 140 cars, and another 70 cars in DLCs, bringing a grand total to just around 210 vehicles. All vehicles are very well done with interiors, realistic detailing, accurate paint schemes to the actual models, which can be changed with the in-game custom paint job creator by the way, and there's a solid mix of fictional Hot Wheels customs and real-life cars. Plus, for the more nerdy of us, there are models from all throughout Hot Wheels history. Now, that's not to say I wouldn't mind seeing them add even more vehicles. There are definitely more models I would love to see in-game, but the current selection is definitely nothing to sneeze at. I'm going to try to make this section brief. So the gameplay of Matchbox Driving Adventures consists of assorted missions, including package delivery, getting to a certain point, chasing down a specific vehicle, your classic multi-vehicle race, and a putting out the fires mission that's really just a glorified checkpoint run with fires that disappear when you get close. It also has a local multiplayer, but like as if that's any replacement for real multiplayer. It's not a terrible selection, but it gets repetitive fast, especially once it's paired with the lack of vehicle options. To an extent, it does have more options than Hot Wheels Unleashed, as it only has your classic multi-car racing and time trials, but that's all it really needs, as it's a racing game at its core. Plus, it has some additional tricks up its sleeve, with real multiplayer, and certain vehicles having different stats that will give you unique advantages in different scenarios. And Unleashed has monster trucks, like, come on, everybody likes monster trucks. And with all the different track variations you get, oh, wait, hold on, let me just... Unleashed, though not having very many individual maps to choose from, as both games having only 6 in their base forms and 3 additional maps in the first title, with 4 in the second available through DLCs, which doesn't sound great at first until you realize that you can create whatever Hot Wheels track you want in these maps, as the game has a built-in track editor and creator. You can even use these tracks you create in multiplayer. Absolutely bonkers! Compare that to Matchbox with its 6 dynamic environments. It sounds like a fair fight, except that there is like a total of 14 different level variations across those 6 environments. They do vary quite a bit. It's a weak point, but I'll give it that. It also has the unique gimmick of driving between maps. Sure, it's basically an endless driving simulation that actually does have an end goal, and it looks like they just threw every asset they could at it, but it's a unique concept that you don't see too often, and I feel like more games could take a pointer from this concept. So you know what? Good job Outright Games on that one. Here's a point to add to the Matchbox vs Hot Wheels scoreboard. So, Driving Adventures has at least one main menu song, at least from what I'm aware of. That, or all the gameplay videos I could find had it turned off because of copyright, though I doubt that. And I'm fairly certain that it was probably made using AI, as Outright Games has begun to use AI for voiceovers, which is why I'm also certain that the fella in the trailer and the overly obnoxious guy in-game are both AI-generated voices. Also, the trailer music is probably AI as well. ChatGPT is going to take over the world, I guess. As for the rest of the game's sound, the atmosphere is not terrible, but I feel like there are just too many loud background noises colliding with each other with not enough white noise filler. And the vehicles, well, all the trucks are basically just infinitely shifting gears and overall sounding bad. And the rest of the more car-like vehicles, I guess they're alright, though still not sounding the greatest overall. Comparing that to Unleashed, which actually has solid car noises, I actually enjoyed the sounds many of these vehicles make. I mean, they may have even went out and sourced actual engine audio for things like the Koenigsegg and Cadillac Seville. You know what? Why does Forza not have a 1980 Seville? Come on, Forza, I don't ask much of you, but can I please drive the most polarizing Cadillac of all time? Please? As for other sounds, the usual button sound effects and stuff are solid, and I don't really notice the background noise at all. But that's probably because the entire soundtrack is made up of absolute bangers. Sure, it might be some quote-unquote copyright-free music that was bought from one of the main music website brand places and had the lyrics scrubbed off, but I'm all here for it, especially seeing as they chose only the very best for their game. The graphic quality of Driving Adventures gives me a level of nostalgia, and it has a certain charm to it. However, that was clearly not the intention. I get the feeling that Outright was just feeling a little lazy on the effort side of things graphically, and by accident created a game that looks like it would have originally released back in 2014 for the PlayStation 4. This is definitely not a particularly fair fight, especially once you consider that, though Hot Wheels Unleashed is no Forza, it's got some rather impressive graphics, and the lighting is phenomenal. Matchbox Driving Adventures does have quite a few track-based gimmicks, like moving gates, snowplows to ramp off of, some random giant octopus, satellite dishes that rotate way too fast for my liking, and giant spinning rings that seem to abruptly return to their original position after a rotation in the trailer. Yeah, it just doesn't have a lot going for it overall. And just some other small things that bug me. The aforementioned obnoxious voiceover guy tells you way too often how to get boost and to press this to accelerate. Another thing, all vehicles' top speeds are just slow enough to be incredibly annoying most of the time. Oh, and there is apparently a bug where if you hit the corner of a wall, you will lose all momentum and need to reverse out, which at that point you'll have fallen miles behind any other drivers in the race. Ain't that fun? On the other side of the room though, Hot Wheels Unleashed sits with its thick wad of gimmicks and features, including all of its track obstacles like giant shark heads, swinging hammers, rolling boulders, fans that will blow your car on or off the track, boost pads, loops, jumps, and really everything that you'd expect to find on an actual Hot Wheels track. And of course all these things can be added to your own track in the track editor, and let's not forget that there's a paint scheme editor in the game as well. The vehicle shop, the extra tasks to unlock bonus races in career, the surprise vehicle crates, the upgrade system, the fact that you can decorate the basement room to your liking, and the heaps of intentional nostalgia brought in by the Acceleracers and Highway 35 cars. There's just so much to this game. It's not even a racing game, it's an experience. I even love the small details, like the music dying down in suspense as you do a loop, or the mini-map in the corner getting covered in static if you veer off the main course. It's these little things that make a game truly good. Though it released recently, Matchbox Driving Adventures already has a Steam rating of, oh wait, nobody has actually reviewed the game since it has been released? Huh? Maybe that's because of the price being put at a nice healthy $51.99. What kind of scam is this? Oh, wait, this is in Canadian plastic money. Let me translate that for you Americans. 52 Canadian dollars roughly translate to about 67 German marks, or about 5,533 Japanese yen. Anyway, point is, I bought Forza Horizon 5 on sale for cheaper than that. With that kind of money, I could buy 2 copies of Brick Rigs at full price, or better still, a decent Lego set of some kind. Compare that to Hot Wheels Unleashed base game price tag of $53.49, which is just some big conspiracy to overprice silly model car games. But oh phew, Unleashed 2 is on sale 80% off at the moment. Crisis averted. I should note that both Hot Wheels games regularly go on for crazy discounts fairly often, as I got a complete edition of the first title with all DLCs for just $40. And that was probably 2 years ago now. It'll probably be even cheaper when the winter sale rolls around later this year. As for the reputation, it's not perfect. It hangs somewhere around mostly positive for the first game and mixed for the second. But honestly, it's really just people complaining about buying it at full price instead of waiting for a sale, and arguing about how the driving characteristics of most of the cars is unrealistic. Completely forgetting that what they're using are actually lightweight diecast cars with plastic wheels that would slide around just as easily in real life. Oh, and don't forget, we're comparing Unleashed against a game with literally 0 Steam reviews, so make with that information as what you want. Now, just as a quick side note, for the real life diecast, I actually prefer Matchbox, because more real life cars than Nissan Sentra or something. So I was pleasantly surprised with the announcement of Driving Adventures. It definitely would have made more sense though during the Matchbox crazy 2010s era, with their more kid-centered big trucks and chonky off-roaders. Also, if you hadn't already noticed, I haven't actually bought it yet, though I would intend to once it goes on a big enough discount, maybe like around just under $20 or something. I want to say I appreciate the effort that went into the game, but if you couldn't tell, I don't think there's any of that to be found. I would also suspect that there's a decent potential for future DLCs with additional vehicles and maps, but nothing solid on that front as of right now. I don't think this game will ever change my opinion on the actual Matchbox diecast. As I see it, Outright Games just wanted a Hot Wheels license of their own, but Mattel was like, nah bro, Milestone SRL already has it. But you know what? Here's Matchbox for ya! And Outright just rolled with it. So now, should you buy Matchbox Driving Adventures? Well, perhaps under the right circumstances, like a sale somewhere or something. It might be worth your time to pick it up and give it a shot. Nah, I'm kidding, just go buy Hot Wheels Unleashed 2, okay bye!